Boys, and welcome to your end of term assembly, to Year 7 in the hall and to Year 8 and 9 in their classrooms. The film that we were just showing showed you elements captured over the last few weeks here at Senior Boys. And to those in the upper part of the school who've at least done one assembly already, you know, in a way that Year 7 here don't know, that we celebrate as best we can, and we have a huge wealth of pictures that we collect over the days, weeks, months and years. I was saying to Year 11 this morning that even they have no idea what their graduation ceremony looks like in the summer of 2021, but we will have dozens of, he says carefully, either lovely or embarrassing pictures of them as they grow up through the school. And as I think you in Year 7 know if you've watched your film, that choral bit in the middle of boys singing in a proper choir was, of course, Year 11 when they were down, not at your age, but in Year 4. So sometimes we can capture memories from even further back than the 5 years that you're embarking upon now, Year 7 and Year 8 and Year 9 are mid-flow. So enjoy this afternoon. There's no point, say, the occasional child, of being at school on the last day, because all we do is sit in a seat. Well, it's interesting that, isn't it? If that was the purpose for you to be in the hall here or in your classrooms, I gather that you've got plenty of time in your life to be sat down. The difference here, as we saw this morning, is the sheer importance there is of recognizing, as Mark Richardson did, Clares Court head boy, Clares Court Olympian, Clares Court world champion, that collaboration is the key, and of course, that's what this is about. You have worked hard. Some of you have worked ridiculously hard. Good. It's not hard enough yet, but you'll learn that over the years to come, that you can always find room for a little extra. As I think you'll see later on, when staff, unbeknown to me, wish us to travel to Hawaii. A small little memory for us to remember for going forward. So, without any more ado, hopefully we can be moving on. Thank you, Mr. Computer. Please bear in mind that we are live streaming, boys, so parents of yours, friends, family will be watching too. So if you do get to come up here, please notice we're trying not to hand you things so we can keep socially distant from you, but enjoy that moment in the sunshine when you come up. Oh well. Perhaps it helps, Mr. Wilding, if you put the other end of the clicker in. So I would like to invite up here a representative of the Clares Court Science Department, Dr. Loughran, the Head of Science, will come in to talk to you about your amazing work, Year 7, Year 8 and Year 9.
Okay, good afternoon, boys. So I have some prizes to hand out to boys in Year 7 and Year 8 and Year 9 to recognise some of the brilliant things that you've done in science lessons this term. So Year 7 and Year 8, you have all been doing lots and lots of practicals this term. You also do, every term you do one practical which you plan yourselves, and you do the experiment and then you write up what you find out. So we've looked at that practical as well as the other practicals that you've done this term to come up with our winners for the prize for the excellent investigative skills shown in science lessons. So if these boys would like to come up and collect their prizes, in 7A we have Nathan Dodd, 7B James Burnand, 7C Adam Scarborough and 7D Sam Bassett. Okay, boys, would you like to come up? Which ones are they? Okay, help yourself.
They're all the same. They're all the same, irrespective of whether a little crack or a bag. Please take.
Okay, we don't have the other two on in school then? No? Okay, and then year 8 prizes go to Tom Buckland, Sam Brown, Humphrey Brown and William Gent. So they will get their prizes soon. Okay. And then in biology, in year 9, boys have been learning all about cells and specialised cells, which are cells that have a particular function. And they have been making models of these cells at home, and they've sent photos in to their teachers. And as you can see, they've made models, they've labelled them, they've explained all the functions, all the things that these cells do. So we've judged their prizes based on what we can see from the picture. And the winners are Jack Newton, Ollie Payne, Ben Coughlin and Nick Ilvedi. And all these boys have been named in the bulletin as Scientists of the Week. So you are all in years 7, 8 and 9. What we've done is put all those names into a hat, and we've shaken the hat and we've pulled out our winner. And our Scientist of the Term from years 7, 8 and 9 is Seb Shaw in 8A. So if Seb would like to come up. He's not here, is he? Because he's only waiting.
So by now, you've worked out that there are other tables of goodies in year 8 and year 9 being presented as we speak. It's worth remembering that YouTube is about 30 seconds behind us. So if the wind that blows around brings some noise in, it appears that the other classes are 30 seconds behind us. We'll know why. We're in real time. They're just watching us on the internet. So, moving onwards, our mathematicians of the term, and we are missing all of our math staff because they're either teaching or coaching games. So it falls, I suppose, to a mixture of Mr. Hudson, Mrs. Seltzer and myself to award various things. So I'll step in at this stage and say the mathematicians of the term is one of those. And here goes the magic dice, and the winners are Charlie D'Souza in 7B and Humphrey Brown in 8C. Well done. Now, of course, as you gather, boys, there's probably in it to win it. So, dear old Charlie, we've got to work out how some gorgeous sweets managed to survive the winter locusts to be here from him in January. Nominations of mathematicians of the term are these, as you can see: Luke Robinson, Eli Fisher, Max Setchell, Zara Baig, Finley Connolly, Edwin Griffith, Charlie Lucas and Prabhan Kang. And from those nominations, the winner is Zara Baig in 9A. English.
Thank you very much. There are a few English prizes to be awarded, and the first one is the Year 7 English Student of the Term, and that is to Max Skelton. Well done, Max. Well done, Max. And Year 8 Student of the Term in English is James Howlett Bolton. Well done, James. In Year 9, the English Student of the Term is Eddie Holmes. Well done, Eddie. And we've got a literacy prize for the most improvement in the accuracy of their written work, and that is to Prabhan Kang in Year 9. Well done, Prabhan. And And in year 8, it goes to Humphrey Brown. Well done, Humphrey. And I think now is the Accelerated Reader prizes. We have a lot of word millionaires, especially in year 7 and in year 8. I think this is the most word millionaires we've had at this stage of a year 7 term. So very well done to this particular group of year 7s and your reading. So, as you can see in the centre there, you will get not a millionaire gold bar, but a £50 note from the Bank of Santa, the Bank of Chocolate, and they will be awarded to you. So, if we go to the next page, Mr. Wilding. These 2 boys have just now, recently in the last week or so, become word millionaires. That means they've read 1 million words this term in English. So, Milan Taylor and Raphael Coates AP, well done to you. Milan, are you here? Yes. And there are some boys who already had word millionaire status this term. So on the next slide, all of those boys have already become word millionaires, and you can see that some have even read 2 or 4 million words in one term. Quite phenomenal. So those boys, if you come up, you have a Bank of Chocolates £50 note to collect. That's it, yeah.
Now, every subject in the school as year 7 is responsible to helping build your literacy. Not just English, not just the library. And the history department takes its responsibilities very seriously, and it sends out into the countryside every year to find suitable devices to recognize the writing quality of its students in the school. And here we have, as you can see here, the Tudor pin badge of a quill to show that these 8 boys in year 7 have managed to demonstrate tremendous competency both as writers but also as historians. So the history awards go to Caspar Bowes, Oscar Bevan Avery, Harry Cornhill, Tom Darley, Finley Garson, Finley O'Neill, Danny Joyter, and Harry Vickers. Please come and pick up your quill. And I think I'm right as well, if Mrs. Seltzer was here in the hall, that you also click for one of these bags of sweets at the end, boys, as well, okay? So historians, come back for one of those at the end. Our nominations for historians of the term are, of course, everybody who's appeared in the bulletin and been nominated in dispatches that way. And those are the nominees. And the winner is Joseph Britton in 9B. Geography, Mrs. Andrews.
Okay, so a really tough job to decide upon the winners for this. There were so many names given by all members of the Geography Department for the Geographers of the Week in the Assembly. But when it came down to it, we looked at common task results, we looked at attitude in lessons, and then we fought it out, and these were the winners. So very well done to Tom Darley, Caspar Bowes, Jude Armstrong, Humphrey Brown, and Freddie Smale. Good job, boys. Well done.
In year 7, we did the carousel, so students all learned the basics in German, French, and Spanish. And the winners are Alex Ray Hughes in 7B, Spike Stalham in 7A, and Caspar Bose in 7A. In year 8, the prizes go to Oliver Fern, Harry Watson, and William Gent. Well done, guys. And year 9, German, June Engelbrecht, French, Cole Dodd, and Spanish, Joe Britton. We also have Linguists of the Week, and in year 7, the Linguist of the Week is Danny Jota in 7B. So come to Danny. You can come and get your prize. I don't know where Danny's gone. Okay. In year 8, Linguist of the Week is Nathaniel Yassi. Year 9, Linguist of the Week is Tom Crane.
Now, one of the things you haven't yet learned the school has a big tradition of is group instrument playing. And Sam Walton today was presenting with his senior prefect tie, not just because, like many of you, he tries hard and still learn academically does well, 7, and you can see your names up there. Congratulations, we've had so much good art created this term. It was very difficult, but in the styles that you can see, those awards go to Henry Chandler, Ben O'Neill, Vito Horvat, and Noah Fuel-Russell. Please come up and take your place. In Year 8, as you can see, they move from the classics on to the pop artists of the 1960s and 70s. And we have Jake Hislop, Hayden Sellers, James Howlett Bolton, and Henry Allen. Congratulations, Year 8. Lovely pictures. You can see the work develop further into real-life drawings and paintings from Fraser Shaw, Sander Owen, Jaden Dawson, and Jake Rogers. Congratulations. Lovely work. Religious studies. I will then, as you can see, we've got one star of the term in 7C, Finley O'Neill. Congratulations. In Year 8, up there in the classrooms with Mr. Mulholland looking after his class, we have Thomas Pesey. Congratulations, Tom. And up there in Year 9, we have Finley Connolly. Congratulations, Finley. ICT, Mr. Bolton.
Good afternoon, boys. Mr. Miller and I are, as we usually are, extremely proud of your achievements this term, particularly in Year 7, where you've got used to Google workspaces and being safe users of the internet, and also with our Year 8s, where they've learnt how the inner workings of a computer make it do all sorts of marvelous things, and also recently working with computational thinking using flowcharts to control real-life simulations. So we would like to mention and award Spike, James, Finley and Harry in Year 7. And also if we could have a round of applause for Harry, Ewan, Charlie and William in Year 8.
Hello, boys. I'm very impressed with the tremendous work Year 7s especially have put in lately to be able to take their projects home, their electronics projects. And some of you, probably half of you, have managed to complete it. And you've completed it to a high standard. And I'm very pleased and very proud. So the boys from Year 7 who are going to receive an award today are Spike Stallam, Tom Darley, Max Skelton, Isaac Jackson. Equally, despite the difficulties we had with the closure of the school for 2 weeks, I'm very impressed with the Year 8s, with their bottle openers. So the 4 boys who did extremely well in this field is Fergus Macmillan, Luca Bayer, Charlie Oswald, and Oran Payne. None of them here. In year 9, with the RSPB project, we have Edward Miller, Freddie Duff, Billy Ray, and Johnny James. Thank you.
Right, gents, this is the pastoral side of things. So we're looking at the commendations. So the commendations that you guys managed to collect over the course of the term. We have one headmaster certificate, and I'll point that person out when we get up here. Managed to get a total of 55 commendations. So he's only 5 commendations off the limited minimum number that you need for your bronze key values. But in year 7, 7A goes to Kirav in second place. First place goes to Casper. And in 7B goes to Henry in second place. First place goes to Tom. Well done. And in 7C, in second place goes to Jean-Pierre, and in first place goes to Adam. And Adam, you got your headmaster certificate, well done. And in 7D, second place Danny, first place Harry, well done. So if you guys want to come up.
Okay, good afternoon, boys. Lots of commendations achieved throughout this term for Year 8 students, so awesome job with that. So in second place for 8A, Hugo Winter. In first position, Abbas Adnan. For 8B, in second position, Leo Campanos. And in first position, Tom Muscle. In 8C, in second position, Zach Sullivan, and in first position, Tom Pesey. And finally, in 8D, in second position, Aaron Patel, and the first position goes to William Dart. Well done.
Okay, well, for this year, Year 9, we've actually had a real solid effort with accommodations. In fact, we've probably had more accommodations this year in Year 9 than I think I've ever seen before. So it was a really great effort by everyone in Year 9. So well done. But the top 2 in each form, starting with, we'll start with 9C for some reason. 9C is Billy Crossfield and Eddie Holmes. And in 9D, we have Prabhan and Ollie Payne. Ollie also had the most in the year group, so well done to Ollie. And I think we've skipped a slide forward. We've skipped a slide. Oh, we're missing 9A slide has gone missing. Who is it? Dear, I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm going to have to go round those forms now and tell you who that is there. So there's a mystery round for 9A and 9B. Are you in for the key values here?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ansel. And now moving on to key values. So for the Bronze Award for Year 8 students, a massive well done to Humphrey Brown, Luke Dawes, Tom Field, Ben Hone, Hayden Sellers, and Dylan Stewart. Well done, chaps.
And Year 9, our Bronze Awards, Nico, Jake, and Arthur. Very well done to you 3 for your bronze. And quite a few silvers now coming through for Year 9, and many more that are just on the cusp of achieving their silver. But the people who have achieved it so far is Panache, Raban, Jake, Freddie, Theo, and Tom Webster. Very well done to you.
Okay, now moving on to the Sport and PE Awards. So for this half term, we've been doing a combination of basketball and volleyball. So we have met up as coaches and we have decided for each form group, a player for that form group. So, to start with then, with basketball, in 7A, Thomas Page, in 7B, James Bernand, in 7C, Thomas Cox, and 7D, Rory Edwards. And for volleyball, 7A, Oscar Bevan-Avery, 7B, Harry Cornhill, 7C, Vito Horvat, and 7D, Harry Vickers. Well done, lads. Okay, now chaps, just moving on to the football awards. So Mr. Turner had voted to award the Merit in Sport to Nathan Dodd, and his player of the term was Noah Fewer-Russell. Mr. Miller awarded Merit in Sport to Oscar Bevan-Avery, and player of the term to Adam Scarborough. And Mr. Carter and Mr. Ansell both decided to award the Merit in Sport to Max Skelton, and player of the term to Tom Darley. Well done. Okay, now moving on to rugby awards. So, Mr. Carter has awarded the Merit in Sport to Henry Chandler. His player of the term was Zach Peters. Mr. Miller has awarded Merit in Sport to Freddie Lee, and his player of the term was Tully French. And Mr. Turner has awarded his Merit in Sport to Monty Morgan, and his player of the term was Rupert Hogg. Well done. Well done, Zach. Good. I bet you're catching them with the awards. You're getting loads of the awards. Okay, now moving on to the Year 8 PE awards. So the same process, we looked at basketball and volleyball. So the awards for basketball. So well done in 8A, Sam Baines, Tom Field in 8B, Ruben O'Brien in 8C, and Alex Bruce in 8D. Volleyball in 8A, Harry Barraclough, 8B, Ollie Kinder, 8C, Ben Hone, and in 8D, well done again to Alex Bruce for doing well in volleyball. Next slide. Okay, so these are now divided into games groups. So the same applied with Year 7 as well. So I have awarded for Merit in Sport, Will Slater, and Player of the Term to Colin Ilkov. Mr. Doyle has awarded Merit in Sport to Daniel Matthews, and Player of the Term to Luke Dawes. And Mr. Hudson has awarded Merit in Sport to Abbas Adnan, and his Player of the Term goes to James Howlett Bolton. Now moving on to rugby awards for Year 8. So I have awarded Merit in Sport to Sam King, and Player of the Term to James Wojciechowicz. Mr. Doyle has awarded Merit in Sport to Oliver Kinder, and Player of the Term to Tommy Beaver. And finally, Mr. Ansell has awarded Merit in Sport to Henry Liebenberg, and his Player of the Term was Ewan Parsons. Now moving on to Year 8 Rowing Awards. So Most Improved goes to William Gent, and Rower of the Term goes to Will Dart. Well done. Now moving on to Sailing Awards for Year 8. So just the one with sailing. So the Stage 1 award goes to Ben Waring. He's worked particularly hard for this, so well done, Ben. Now moving on to Year 9 PE Awards. So Mr. Turner has awarded for basketball James Hudson, and volleyball Prabhan Kang. Mr. Bowen has awarded basketball to Louis Bonfield, and volleyball to Joe Adams. And Mr. Carter has awarded basketball to Finn Keylock, and volleyball to Billy Crossfield. Now moving on to football awards. So Mr. Beck has awarded Merit in Sport to James Hudson. Second award there, James, well done. Player of the term goes to George Crow. Mr. Bowen, we have 2 Mr. Bowens, so Merit in Sport, he has awarded to Dylan Bridges and Jack Newton, and his players of the term go to Louis Bonfield and Teddy Sinclair. Now moving on to the Rugby Awards. So, Mr. Bowen has awarded, again, for 2 games options here. So, Merit in Sports to Billy Crossfield and Ewan Engelbrecht. And Player of the Terms go to Finn Keylock and Fraser Shaw. And Mr. Beck has awarded Merit in Sport to Bryn Davies and Player of the Term to Max Setchell. Rowing Awards, Most Improved goes to Tom Rayner and Rower of the Term to Walter Chaplin. And finally, the big moment. So, Sportsman of the Term Awards go to sportsmen that we feel have shown a great attitude throughout the term and have really excelled with their level of sporting ability. So, a massive shout out and a massive well done. Firstly, in Year 7, Zach Peters. Awesome job. Well done, Zach. And in Year 8, Ben Hone. And in Year 9, Billy Crossfield. Well done, chaps. That's it.
And announcer of the term obviously goes to Mr. Hamilton. Big round of applause for Mr. Hamilton.
So, as Year 7s have been finding out this term, and Year 8s and 9s know already, Accelerated Reader, we've had a challenge. Who can read the most words? And you can see clearly St. Lawrence are by far and away the best readers, or the most words at least, this term. So well done to St. Lawrence.
Will I guess that perhaps 2/3 of the St. Lawrence words were read by Casper Bowes? Would that be right?
Correct. That's 4 million words.
That's how one of you can make such a difference. Just one person. Fantastic.
So well done to St. Lawrence. And then on we go to the house music competition that happened last week, and so many of you voted. In 3rd place was Cole Dodd, in 2nd place Ben Coughlin, and in 1st place Ed Miller for St. Lawrence. So St. Lawrence victorious again. So well done to those boys. And lovely to see so many Year 7 entries in that as well. So moving on to the finale, the House Academic Competition. Now, Year 7s, this takes into account all of these key areas in the academic term. Year 8s and 9s are used to this, but that is what we use to count up all the totals for the academic prize. So, they've all been added up. We now have the results. So, with great anticipation, let's have a drum roll. I think we should be. And here we go. 4th place is Kelly. 3rd place, St. Lawrence. Now, 2nd and 1st, we have a tie between Ridgeway and Rowanhurst. So, in order to find out on the tiebreaker, we have to use the amount of commendations as a deciding factor. So here we go. The most commendations, and therefore the winners are Rowanhurst. So all Rowanhurst pupils and staff will get a little prize on the first day next term. So well done, boys.
pretty awesome, actually, how the Reds have done so well. But you can come back, now that you know that one person can make such a difference, that extra portrait put in, or that extra piece of music submitted. All this work, putting this together, is yours for the term, but it's organised, as you know, by Mr. Hudson, by Mr. Turner, by Mrs. Seltzer, and of course, above all, by the admin team behind who tries so hard to catch up with what's going on. You are so lucky to have a librarian of the quality of Paula Copeman. She's absolutely on the money all the time, and she's got a whole new set of books coming in for you for next term. So congratulations to everybody in the school who encourages the school librarian, because she, in return, encourages us massively. This could have been today, as we were walking across to assembly.
Find me a place where it doesn't rain. Find me a place where it's dry. A place where the palm trees sway.
Where we're certain that the sun will shine.
Christmas on the beach of Waikiki.
The wonders of technology, taking us from the cold rain of Maidenhead to Hawaii. Now, we all know how marvellous technology is. At the moment, we're beaming anywhere across the world where somebody wants to tune in to the work of Clare's Court. If you're in your classrooms or thinking of going home, one of the devices that's helped you more than anything has been your Chromebook. The school owns 900 Chromebooks. Sadly, Indonesia has just decided to buy 1 million Chromebooks for their schools. Malaysia has also just decided to buy 3 million Chromebooks for their schools. And you may have seen in the news that there's a certain small problem of shipping product from where Chromebooks are made, which is in Korea and China, to other parts of the world. So, in your bulletins today, I've asked your parents to frisk you and make sure that when you get home, they put your Chromebooks away safely for the Christmas break. I know how closely connected to your Chromebooks you are, but please remember, there are no more. We've even run out in this country of spare screens and spare keyboard bits. So Chromebooks have gone from being something you can find in any Clare's Court boy or girl's locker to one now that is in much demand all over the world. Italy. You can't go to Italy into school or university now without a Chromebook. So we're in charge of the technology, but there's not a lot left unless it's actually sat there on a shop shelf, which the school doesn't have access to. So please, boys in the room, boys out there in the classrooms, parents on the internet, put your Chromebooks safely away when you get home and bring them out ready for school in 2.5 weeks' time. You might be taking home your Chromebooks, but there's another gift I want you to take home. That is the gift that you give to us each day here at Clare's Court, which is of kindness. The gift that Mark Richardson, that Francis Ackland Snow asks us every time to recognise. As you can see in the writing here, in Miss Ackland Snow's handwriting, of course, kindness sits quietly beyond all things. You're going to have a lovely afternoon with your form teachers now, but don't forget, when you go home, you take away your goods, you take away your chattels, you take away your Chromebooks, but above all, you take home the gift of kindness to your homes. Enjoy using it over Christmas. Bring it back in the new year. Thanks very much, everybody. You've had a very good term. Thank you, Year 8. Thank you, Year 9. Mr. Miller, now we're a bit off record.